Hello, hello. Welcome, Nathan, and welcome, Vanessa. I'm just. Ooh, okay, that works better. I'm close to the microphone. Hello, 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 and welcome. I'm just doing some housekeeping as I usually do, making sure that I share uh, my page with my other site I have on Facebook. One, two, three. Yeah, the mic is working. So this is another. First of all, my name's Samuel Tolbert, Sound of Joy Music Services. I am a 45-year retired church musician from the era of the 70s all the way to 2018 or 19. And I always look forward to helping to train my replacement. That was my endeavor when I started my company, Sound of Joy, in 1992. I noticed there was no young musician chasing me off the organ seat. And I said, well, gee, if the parents perhaps can't afford a piano or cannot afford to send their child to take up piano lessons to be my replacement so that I could move on in life, and my desire was to get trained and educated and prepared to do cruise ships and to do gospel shows around the world. That was my desire back in the 1990s. But I said I couldn't leave the position of a church musician and leave a church without anyone who's trained enough to be able to adapt to the style of music that particular church needed. Well, none of that happened, but I began to create the means to train the next generation of musicians behind me. Unfortunately, that's now two generations behind me now. Welcome, Gladys. So, as technology made itself available to me, back then it was AOL dial-up. I created MIDI files. I got on chat rooms. I think LearnGospelMusic.com was one of the first chat rooms. Yahoo had a chat room where you could actually converse with musicians in different parts of the country. And we began to talk music and share MIDI files. And this brings me to where I am now, to where I can host a live chat session and take what I call viewer requests for songs. Now, I don't charge for viewer request songs, but I try to give the same approach to I would on a live lesson. I do have consultation and instructional online chats, but this way I said, let me see what my viewers are looking to learn. Because I always felt if I teach you to you in the correct way, the old saying was, at least back in my day, if you teach, I'll say a person, because you always said a man, but teach a person, if you give a person a fish, you will feed them for a day. But if you teach them how to fish, you can feed them for a lifetime. So the over 1,100 videos that I have posted, they're all not teaching, but I would say 75% of them are, is to show and to converse as to this is how I self-taught myself to learn how to play every song that was presented to me by a music director, by a choir member, by a group who wanted to learn a particular song and sing it and wanted me to dissect the song, not just the music part, but their vocals. Welcome. I'm gonna have to say Wiz. Thank you for coming in. So this viewer request stream is for me to be able to show you the same process that I instruct is the same process I still use to learn these songs. Now, you don't want to hear me talk, and I hate to want someone to think that I'm doing clickbait, but as people are coming in, I want to be able to get to the music. So first up on our request, because I take the requests as comments from the different videos I have up. Let me change my screen. That's the keyboard. Let me change my screen. Now, the first one I did, viewer request, I got tagged by YouTube, copyright notification, it wasn't a strike, for one song, and I was surprised. I did many songs that got heard, so I figured out a new way to be able to listen to the music live, and I'm going to use my earpod. This is what I'm going to use. I don't know if you can see it. That's what I'm going to use. I'm going to put that here so I can listen to the music. Welcome, Nathan. No, I'm actually doing viewer request songs. There are some that have requested songs, and I haven't gotten to them because they take time for me to learn it. So I put the easier ones up first, so I can do another viewer request. So the first song on the list, I won't say who it's from. I'm not sure if the young lady would like me to. Oh no, I've already made a mistake. But that person would want me to share their name, but I will share their request. It is "I Love You, Lord" today from Benita Jones. Now, I briefly went over it just to hear what it was. And I said, oh, it's a version of "I Love You, Lord" today done by a soloist and not a choir. Now, I may be able to share maybe 10 seconds of it before I see a copyright strike. Let's see. So you can see my approach to the song. So let me cue it up. Here we go. We adore your name. We love you, Lord, because you first loved us. I don't know if you can hear that. We love you, Lord, because you love us best. We love you, Lord, because you loved us so much that you sent the gift of your Son, that we might have a right to the tree of life. I love you, Lord. I adore you. Okay, what are they doing? B flat. There it is. Just walking down. The the worship sound. Well, thank you, Nathan. I supposed to put close to 75 midis out there. Okay, so that's kind of what the lead is, the opening intro that they're using, breaking into the song. Let's see what's next. Worship you tonight. Hallelujah. Again, I immerse myself in the recordings because I want to hear uh, what was the mindset of the music that the musician was playing to set an atmosphere. So if you see me just doing this, I'm trying to hear where he is, why he's selecting certain notes to give a certain opening. So the bass on the bottom stays in place. Now I am improvising. Okay. So for those who count, the 1, the 5, the 4, okay, got it. Do I have live chats for the organ? I haven't started that, so that can be added. So again, this is the actual second viewer request chat that I'm doing. But again, anything is possible. Anything is possible. So okay, so we got kind of what the opening is doing. Let me hear more.
I love you.
Okay.
I love you. I love you, Lord, today.
Okay. Basic. The basic walk down. I actually, when I'm playing this song, I actually hold on the one just to give it a different effect. All right. Let's see where else they're going to go. Hmm. Okay. Because. Okay. From okay. Very basic. Now, I'm just keeping an eye on the comments. Do I give you every note by the musician? I try to give you between 75 to 80% of what's happening musically because I want those who are getting instruction from me to learn the concept. They're in the scales. If you've watched any of my videos, I will push practicing the scales, which I didn't do first, because most of these chords are in the scales. So that's what I'm listening to. Where's the highest note? Where's the lowest note? And what's in the middle? So my ears are always hearing that they're staying right here, and the highest note. There's the highest note when he started up. I said, okay, I hear the lowest note, I hear the highest note. All that's left is what's in the middle. And if they're staying true to the scales, there's 8 notes or 7 notes between octaves. Which ones is he not playing? And then I'm left with the ones that they are playing. I love you. I can hear the, which is a common chord. He came down to that change, which is a transition chord. You know, anytime you play a D seventh chord, it's going to take you to either G major or G minor, because you care for me. What chord did he have? He put a different chord there.
I love you. I love you. I love you, Lord, today.
There. Okay. Because you care for me in such a special way. All right, so basically just walking down the chords. Pretty much should know what the rest is. So let's see if there's anything different in the song. Okay. Anything different?
That is why.
Okay. They changed the key. 2 minutes into the song, they're in a different key. So the basic song. That's why I praise you. What chord did they put there? Because I know what I use, but let's see.
Because you care for me in such a special.
Oh, okay. So when you don't pay attention to the entire album, you will miss a chord. You use the chord that I use in the other key. Jazz chord. Special way. And then I praise you. I lift you up. I magnify your name. That's what I want to hear. What chord did he resolve to there? Let's find it. Hopefully, I don't get a copyright strike. So I lift you up. I magnify your name. I've done that chord probably 10,000 times. So the minute I heard him change, straight gospel. So that gets you through there. But if you're going to go to B major from B flat, what's the change I always say? It's a seventh chord. In this case, G flat 7. And to follow the same pattern. All right. Let's see if they you will catch that again. Practice your scale in all the keys, and you will hear the same changes. Uh, yes, yay, jazz chord. Sorry, I cannot pronounce your name, but thanks for coming in. When you listen to as much music as I do, and lately I've been going to other YouTubers who teach jazz to see what I missed because I spent my entire life learning gospel. Every time I listen to another instructor instructing in jazz, I hear the gospel chords I've been playing my entire life. Didn't know anything about a dominant 7 or a 13th with a flatted fifth. All I knew was what notes I heard and how I could mimic it just by listening for all the notes in that range and omitting the ones that I don't hear. So yes, I can hear every note in here. So I'll know which ones to remove to make it sound like a straight major chord. Let's see if anything else changed.
Can we just lift it up one more time? Oh.
Okay, so we're gonna go to C now. What does I say? A 7, G7 takes you right to. Same thing. If there's a turnaround, same pattern though. Let's see if there's a turnaround.
It's such a special.
Okay, they're going to D flat. So if you're in C major and you want to go to D flat, it's the A flat 7th. They all walk up. B flat, G flat 7th, which if you know your cycle of fourths, if you're in a B major, you want to go to C, it's a G 7th. If you're in C and you want to go to D flat C sharp for those who are gospel, it is an A flat 7th. And if you want to be dramatic, if you want to get real dramatic with it. I like changing it up. Maybe now they will do the turnaround now that they're in D flat. Let's see.
I love the Lord. He heard my cry and he did every word.
The turnaround.
Yeah.
Okay. There's your turnaround chord. Dramatic. Bum, 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 bum. Again, hear the lowest note, hear the highest note, and add the other notes in between. And that's how I would end it. And I think that's all we're going to cover. So I've got for the person who asked for that song. Let's go to the next one. This is again, these are reviewer requests that I receive. Just change my screen. There we go. These are viewer requests that I ask for. I don't charge for viewer requests. I enjoy. I can always load up. I can always load up any song, but I think I'm more effective if I know what songs those who watch me and support my channel by watching me are asking for, because it gives me a chance to expand on not just more music that I haven't heard before, but on the process that I use to break down a song. So as you can see, if we were in D flat and I wanted to go to D major, again the 7th chord of A7. I can, and again, go up the entire keyboard chromatically, and that is hey, how you doing, Sub Zero? And that is a lesson that I stressed for musicians that are taking instruction from me. Learn the scales in every key, and then you'll be able to hear every chord that's in every key. You won't have to use an artificial button. to transpose for you, but just from practicing, you'll be able to hear that change. Let's see what the next request was. Just go to my page so I can pull up the next request. They're in my comment section. Okay, here we go. Comments. Let's see. That was the Benita Jones. I love you, Lord, today. I Praise Your Name by Myron William. I Praise Your Name by Myron Williams. Let's find that one. I don't know every song, but I can learn any song. I praise your name. Here we go. Myron Williams. Okay, so I shut off my speakers so that I don't hear the ads that are being played. There should never be dead time when you're not when you're if you're waiting on something. You should be just sit there and just go through an actual practice session. All right, here we go. Let's hear what we got with this one. Oh, okay, got a jumpy one. Let's see what we got here.
Yeah, here we go.
All right. Let's see if my relative pitch can find the key. D flat. No. F. Let's take you back here. Change our key to F. Now the jumpy songs can throw you off because there's so much music happening. You've got to pretty much hear one instrument sound, whether it be a piano, organ, or synthesizer, and omit all the other instruments. So I'm going to key the volume down so it's not picked up that much. You can still hear me, and let's see what I can decipher. Hey, Danny, thanks for coming in. Feel free to chat with the others who are here and ask any questions you might have. This is a impromptu viewer request live stream. Learning the I Praise Your Name by Myron Williams. Mm-hmm. Okay, let's see if I can get that. If I can get that intro. Mm. Hit the top chords, highest note. Okay, I heard that running there. Cut the chords, put the bass in the right place. Now I'm thrown off. Who joined us? If you have time, could you please do He's in Control by Rich Talbot Jr. That Rich Talbot Jr. is my second cousin, and yes, that is on my list. Welcome, welcome, Siobhan. Let me hear that opening again. That's what I hit the bass doing. That's what's throwing me off of the first note, because the bass player is doing that one of that. There, okay. Okay. So the opening chords. Yeah, that is an art of practicing to be able to hear what each instrument is doing, find that instrument, see where it is in the context of what scale that they are putting it in, and then go to the next note. So now I got the opening and the now there's another chord after that. Let's see. Oh, okay. There we go. That's the finishing chord. What did I miss? D flat. And finish it off. And it's kind of like a big band chord. So it's going to resolve to get you to, again, to get to an F, C7, F. What they're doing is the big band sound. So easy way would do, you get here and just do this one chord right here to fill it out. I would of course come to here to give that full sound and resolve it so that you can go to get to the F. All right. Let's see if we can hear the rest of these, the song now. Okay. What, do you finish it off? Chord? Okay. Kick the sound up a little bit so I can hear it. Plus I got on headphones on, so I'm listening through headphones. Let's open up one ear so I can hear. Alright. Gotta rethink that now. Okay, walking it down. Okay, walking it down. All right. This is the verse. verify that by listening to it again. Take off one part of the headphones so I can listen better. I'm hearing a whole different change. Okay. There are there are so many chords happening in this song. So I'm going to give you as much as I can without belaboring it too much. This is one of those songs where I would have to listen to it at least a half an hour so I can feel what all the music is doing around a lead singer. So let me go a little bit further. Okay. Wow. Yeah, this is like cornbread. It's packed in, it's tight. A lot of things happening at the same time. I'm hearing it. All right. I'm now jumping through it. Yeah, that's giving you a lot. Let's see what else there we got. That's what I'm hearing. Praises go up. Yeah, this is gonna be a full mouthful song. Let's see what else we got happening here. As I said, there's a lot of instrumentation going, which has to be. You just gotta block it out. See what else is happening. what's that change? Um, nope. Praise God. Nope, not that one. It's a pattern. I've got to, I have to trigger that pattern in my head. Okay. There it is. The bass. Here it is. It's basic. That's an important note. Music is relative, and by what I mean is that, um, change my scene here. There's not too much new that you can learn in music. All you can do is add to what's already been there. So from the very first, let me see. From the very first piano lesson that you would take to learn, what's that? For Eloise. All music is someone adding more notes, and in this case, a lot of instrumentation around already established notes. So I'm not going to do too much more of this one because I'm sure I'm going to get a copyright. And what they would generally do is ask me to remove the sound of what they hear in the background, which means I'll have moments of no sound. But yeah, that's this. I Praise Your Name by Myron Williams. It's a handful. It's 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 not a song I would teach to a first time musician. If they say, "Well, Jay, I want to learn this song," and they haven't mastered chords, as you saw me breaking down the chords from the highest note to the lowest note to what's in the middle to finding different variations of that same movement. If they don't have if they don't have, and it's not a slight against the person who asked for this song, but for even for me to learn this song, I got to spend 3 or 4 days with it because there's so much happening. And then if I had to teach it to a choir, I'd have to omit 80% of the music that's happening just to get what the choir voicing is doing because they're in counter sync to what the music is doing. Yeah, a mouthful song, but a good one, a good way to show the process I use in breaking it down. This is a 3 day learning song for me. Let me see. I'm not at the end yet either. Still another minute and a half to go, but I think they're going to be doing a lot of repeating. Let's see what else there is. Hey Louie, how you doing? No, you didn't. You haven't missed much. I've only covered 2 songs so far from my viewer request list. So we just did the Myron Williams. I praise your name again. There's a lot in there. So let's go to the next request. Maybe this one won't be as jam packed. Let's see. Let me just look at my list. Do 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 do. As you can hear, I'm always running something through my head musically. Do, 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 do. We've done Line of Judah already. Do, 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 What's that song? A TV show. Let's see. I have every comment from every video I have I'm looking at, so I have to scroll through slowly so I don't miss it. Okay, there's the one I just did today. Can you upload the video of you in organ mode playing This Is the Day the Lord Has Made with drum track and praise break? That's not a viewer request in a sense. It's not a lesson song, so we'll skip by that one. Let's see what we got. Okay, there's the Myron Williams one we just did. Can you do a tutorial of the whole song? Oh, someone wanted a tutorial of, I did Jesus Is My Help intro chords, and someone asked a tutorial of the whole song. Let me, now, and I am familiar with that song, so let me cover some of that. Jesus Is My Help, I did the intro chords. Falling in Love with You, Falling in Love with Jesus by Jonathan Butler. I'll see if I can get to that one. I think I have another two that's ahead of that request. I am familiar with that song from the first time it came out. Jonathan Butler might be doing a different version, but I can pull it up on YouTube and see what changed in it. So, Jesus Is My Help, that was the request. Let's change our scene. That song is in, change the key to G flat. There we go. Why should I worry? Why should I fret? And look at all the ways He's made, and every promise kept. I'll look to the hill, from which cometh my help. My help cometh. Tell me where my help cometh. It's coming. Again, this song has a lot of music happening in it, so I have to separate. Why should I worry? Why should I fret? Look all the ways He's made and every promise. Look at all. Every promise kept. I look to the hills from which cometh my help. Tell me where my help cometh. Tell me where my help cometh. Tell me where my help cometh. Jesus is my help. Very basic. to change keys. I'm gonna go to G from there. There it is. Now that same, what did I say? So you're gonna go from one key, put a seventh chord in there to go to the next key. Throw that out the window because this is contemporary gospel. They use a whole different pattern to go from because they're really not going to. It's really not going to G, but their chords are borrowing from G. There we go. Now we go to A flat. I'll hold that there. And whatever way you want to get this part done. Okay, that's all I'm going to do of that. But yeah, that'll get you through that song without a problem. Next on the list, let's see what we got here. That's for my Jesus is my help request. I come to the garden alone. I did that one already. Daily shall I worship thee. Did I do that one? Daily shall I worship thee. Daily shall. Nope, I didn't do that one. And they didn't give the name of the person who did it. So I gotta do a straight search. Daily. Shall I worship thee? Here we go. Okay, we have, my goodness. We have Bishop Ellis, Kim Burrell, Darrell Walls, Manuthi Namba, Glenn Gibson. So I'm going to go with just the basic one, which should be the original. Daily shall I worship thee. Okay, it was this Greater Mount Calvary recording. I'll go with that one. That looks like. Okay, we'll go with that one.
The new iPhone 14 Pro.
Daily again, I do. Who joined? If you have time, I would love to hear Hold to God's Unchanging Hand, maybe in C sharp. I want to be able to play in G that effortlessly. Just practice scales in G, because every note that I played is an offshoot of the notes that are in G. Okay, daily shall I worship thee. Let's see what this sounds like, because I've never heard it.
Where the worshipers. Come on, where the worship thee.
Okay, B flat. We were just in B flat earlier, so the key triggered my relative pitch, and I already hear the praise songs, which means 4, 5, 6, 1 chord. Let's see how they put the melody around those patterns.
Lamb of God. just need somebody to
That's arm
respect who
4
he is
and
and
walk it
worship
down.
him. Who extended
Gospel.
There's none like you in this mercy.
All right, now I don't want to get a copyright strike. I'm sure it's going to go into a minor there. There's the minor change. Okay.
Daily I will. Come on, Calvary, let's give it to him. This is the Lord's doing, and it's marvelous.
Come on, get there. Okay, so it's going to switch. That's where we are now. Turn around.
Bless the Lord, oh my soul. I need some blessers in here. Bless the Lord, oh my soul.
Okay, bringing it out. So, because I know it's not a hard chord pattern, the melody is leading you to every chord. It's just changing the chord. Transition. Turn around. I'll give you that note. That would be an entire listen to the Glenn and Melvin the third version. Well, because the requester did not give me what version to do, I always search for the original version because musicians are like let me talk to you about musicians because we're a we are a I want to keep it somewhat churchy. We are an anointed group. We'll hear the squeak of brakes and try to find out what key the brakes was squeaking in, and then try to find some chords to put around it. That's what I do. If I hear brakes squeaking, if I'm driving or if I'm walking in the street, I'll try to find out what key is that. How did it squeak? Did it go? I said, okay, what key was that? And I'll go home and I'll say, and I'll try to figure that out. So every musician who plays this will add their own flavor, like a chef. Some people like salt. Some people like kosher salt. Some people like garlic salt. And every musician will throw in their own seasoning that recognize so that you will know that, yes, this person played that song and this person played it this way. I always play it let's go traditional. Let's hear how the original songwriter positioned this song, which is what I'm here listening to, the original album by Greater Mount Calvary Live, Bishop Alfred. So I went to the actual. What key is the phone ringing in? Yeah, I will listen to that. What is that? Trying to remember the iPhone ring. Somebody did an actual meme of that, the iPhone tones. But so I will learn the original version first because musicians will change it up to their flavoring of it. That if someone wants to sing the original version and you play it like you heard another musician who wasn't on the album do it, you'd think that's the way it goes. This goes with the Richard Smallwood Total Praise. Every musician and myself taught it with that B major, and you couldn't tell me that that wasn't the note that was there because that's what should be there. I will lift mine eyes to the. You couldn't tell a musician that wasn't the note he played. Why? Because later on in the song, I lift my hands in tow. Because you heard that in the later part of the song, every musician's ear said that note should be there in the beginning also. Until I saw the Richard Smallwood video where he says, play the right note. That is not a B major, that's a B flat. So then I went back, took my time to listen, and I'm like, he's right. It's a Richard Smallwood song. It's classical. That's gospel. That's classical. That's classical. So now I had to rethink every song that I listened to from Richard Smallwood and find out what gospel changes was I familiar with and comfortable with doing, and then had to go back and re-educate myself to if you've been playing that gospel tone or jazz tone, take it out, drop one note in every song, and then every song I went to, I said, okay, that's why I could never find the ending because I did not. I hear it in the gospel tone and not in the classical tone. So yeah, uh, I won't do the Glenn Gibson or Melvin third version because this is a viewer request. So I've given the viewer the original song in their own time. Of course, they can go and listen to the musicians' versions of it, which I know they changed it up. So let's go to the next. As I say, that song it doesn't. It's not a hard song. You're gonna just play straight chords, put a seventh in there every now and then. The gospel turnaround. Worship the gospel turnaround, and that'll get you through that song. Let's see who was next on the list. Okay, do. Make sure I didn't miss any comments. Okay. Let's see. We got. Again, I'm getting so many. And I'm getting down to 2 days ago now. Someone typed in Spanish. I have to look up what they said. I'm sure it was a compliment. Okay, we're up to He's in Control by Rich Talbert Jr., my second cousin. I did one of his videos as a lesson, and YouTube came after me. Yes, they did. I actually had to take it down because they cut out so much from it that it wasn't even worth leaving up. That's when I learned that if they hear too much of it, the algorithm will say, hey, that's not your song. We hear it in the background. Drop the video or cut out that playing. So I expect to get something like that from these that I've done, but that's okay because as long as I'm getting the point across that with the correct instruction of how to practice on your own time, you should be able to take apart any song you hear because your ears will tell you what notes are not being played, and the movement of your hands will eliminate those notes so you can hear what is being played. So let's do the search for He's in Control. He's my cousin, but I don't keep up with all of his music because I'm out there for all of you musicians. He's in Control. Rich Talbot. There we go. Let's cut off my speakers so that I don't get. Yeah, we Talbots are, at least here in the East Coast, New York City, Brooklyn area, we were at one time known as the people who could fix organs and play them. My father was a Hammond organ repairman, Hammond organ certified technician. I should use the term technician. So every church that broke up the organ, he get called in to repair it. And then we come back that next Sunday and be playing for the service. Either the fathers or in my case, my brothers or my cousins. At one time, they were probably between the fathers and the uncles and the brothers and cousins, 9 musicians playing for churches somewhere in this area. And we all had a different style, completely different. All right, let's hear what it sounds like before I get a copyright strike. Let's see what we got. That catches You'll get it. All right. Uh, let's see what's next on the request. That was He's in Control by my cousin, second cousin, Rich Tolbert Jr. His father is a tremendous musician. I couldn't match, I could not match his father, who I steal some of his stuff, but he is the best out of all of the Talbot musicians. The best. Let's see. And that was the last request from the channel. So I have requests now from the chat tonight. And again, thank you all who have come to participate with me here. Let me just change my screen. Thank you all who have come to participate in this live viewer request. I do this for you musicians, both male and female, American, African, Romanian, Australian, um, Chinese, Taiwanese. I can track where all of my viewers are coming from, and they are all over the UK. They're all over the world that stop by my channel. Japanese, Chinese, Belgium. Just trying to remember some of the other, and it's that people who come and allow me to give some of my knowledge, which is not book learned from a sense. No instructor sat me down and said, "Here, this is how you do this." I got the books and I had a desire to learn what I could hear in my head. I wanted to know how can I get it out as easy as possible and then move on to the next thing. So this is what you're seeing. What happens up here was placed through reading books and being involved and immersed in music at a very young age, and the knowledge of reading notes off a sheet of paper. So when I give you the information that I show you, that's what brought me to where I am right now. Anyway, let me stop talking about me and let's get into the next song requests that were asked. I'm just going back in the chat. Someone wanted "How Great Thou Art." I'll play that as a song. I don't know if you wanted it as a lesson. It's in the key of B flat in the hymnal, so I will play it as a lesson. Change my scene here. "How Great Thou Art," B flat. Scales are important. Why? Because that's where the melody of the song resides. That's where the melody resides, in the scale. Key sticking again. I should know this. Hear it. Haven't played this in a while. So that song resides in the melody. Chording. I go this way, but the book goes, because I should follow the book. Transition, gospel, turn around. We'll stay with the book. Turn around, then sings. down to the C minor. Got to do that chord correctly. Walk up. Then sings. God to thee. Walk it down. High. Minor, G minor. They call that D7 over G flat. To the C minor. And just drop it down to a diminished. Resolve to a F7. Now to get to C minor again, G7. How? Great. Now go back to the F7. And the gospel cadence. All right, so that will get you through How Great Thou Art. Let's see what the other request was. We Offer Praise by Patrick Riddick. We offer praise. We offer praise. We offer praise. So many praise songs I've heard. I probably know this one, but let's make sure it's the one I have in my head. We offer praise. Okay, I know the one by Rodney Bryant, so I don't know the one by Patrick Riddick. So this is going to be a new song for me. Again, so many songs may have the same title, but other people will do it. Let's find the original. I see the live ones. I always like to go to the original recording so that I make sure that I give the correct chords. I'm searching YouTube for the album version versus everybody else's version. And I'm not seeing one so far. I may have to go to a live that he did, which is not a problem. I just always like to hear the studio version because it's less sauce, you might say. Less ingredients in the sauce when it's done from studio. They don't go with all that stuff in the studio. All right. Come on, give me one that I can. I don't want that one. Is this it the same guy? No, it's not. It's a different. All right, look at all that I have is the versions that are. Oh, Louis, I need lessons from you. Over 1,000 videos here on YouTube. That's how you can get lessons from me for free. All these breakdowns that I've done, not just now that I have the Chord app, but even the previous ones. It's all the same process: scales, melody, bass chords, bass line chords, highest note, lowest note, and all the notes in between. Which ones don't you play? And then you got the song. So we're going to go with Patrick Riddick and Divine Worship. This is a live one. Let's see. Let me just cut what I can hear. I always want to hear, I always desire to hear the actual studio version, not the live, because it's not the same. Well, let's see what I got here. Oh, this one. You can see. So yeah, I know this one. All right, so this is he's actually souped it up. And see, I know this one. They borrowed it off of somebody else, and again, I told you that's what musicians do. They'll take someone else's song and they'll add their own ingredients to it and make it like, oh, this is the new version of it. No, you've just taken someone else's song and made try to make it your own. So I think I switched over to C, and then the harmony. I taught it to United Methodist Church choir. Believe it or not. Of course, I evened it out, put it on sheet music for them. So my G key is sticking. Then it changes key. Now that may not be the Patrick Riddick version, but they are, souping it up. But that's the basis of the song. So let's see what they changed in it. Same the basic. So they've given it a nice calypso beat. I don't think there's much more I can show you from that song. It's just a Caribbean or a calypso beat that they've attached to it. That requires rhythmic instruments to get within that the actual beat of that one. So let's continue on. Let's see what else we have here. Who did I miss? Falling in Love with Jesus by Jonathan Butler. Now I know the original version. But let's see what Jonathan Butler did with it. If this is the original one. Okay, so this is the original one. In F, my ear is telling me F. Let's see if my ear remembers how accurate my ear is. I don't use the number of progressions, demo. I teach scales, chords, and phrasing. Oh, different key. A major? Okay. Okay, A major with a guitar. So, let's go get a guitar. Let's go get a guitar. Let's see, Barcelona or Slide. Ever teaching in a band, it's easier with the numbers, right? Well, again, because I've always been, and I'm answering a question by Demo. I've never had the opportunity to work with a band. I've always been solo. For out of my 45 years, probably 40 of those years, I did work with another musician, but when there's an organ and the piano, the organ leads, piano follows. It's just the loudest instrument leads. So it didn't matter what chords I was playing, whatever chords he played dominated the song. But no, I never worked with a band, so I never learned numbers. but I did learn songs. As you can hear, once I began to hear Falling in Love with Jesus, I immediately switched to a guitar patch because so I can play what I hear. Falling in love with Jesus. There it is. So, okay. Let me switch back to piano. That's not fair. Go back to a piano sound. Opening chords. D flat or C sharp now because we're in A major. And walk down. More chords. As long as you know that change is coming up. And walk down. And I believe that the entire song is pretty much the same way. Just verify that. Yep. See if it changes key. Okay. Pretty much the same thing. Got some oohs in the back, but the same process. Learn the scales, and when you hear the chords, which one you're going to omit? Okay, he added that chord, which is a gospel turnaround to get there. Fall in love with G. Now he's going to go off chord, but really, if you think about it, he wants to get to the minor. How to get to that minor chord? Walk up a D flat or C sharp, gospel turn, and resolve to a G, A, and to Demo's question, do I know numbers? I can talk to it. 1, 7, 1. 5? No, 4, 3, 2, 3. But now that 3 is in a different key. That's why I don't like the number system. 6, 7, 1, 4, 3, 2, 1. But how do you know what chords I want to play in those numbers? That's why I hate the number system. It's a cheat sheet for me. I'd rather know the notes and the chords that support those notes. So if I wanted to change and go, that's what I want to be able to do. And you can't put that in a number system when you're thinking about it at the very moment that you're playing it. Yeah, I know they are implied. It's when you had the band, and I'm just using my own understanding. When you begin to bring together musicians who never practiced together, it's easier to say, "Hey, I'm going to be in the 4 of this key. Don't worry about the chords. Just make sure that you're in the 4, and we'll make it sound right." My era didn't come up with the number system. We actually learned notes and chords, and we all played our part as it was assigned. But again, I don't fight it because there are a lot of musicians out there who made more than I have playing using the number system. So that's the Falling in Love with Jesus in the key of A major. Again, what did I just show you there? I'm not afraid to go to any key because I practice in every key. Let's see what with the next one. Oh, Sub-Zero, can you play the hymn Only Believe? Only believe all things are possible if you only believe. There's a verse in there. Only believe. Let me see if I could find my African American Heritage hymnal. I see it. Let me just go pick it up. Okay, so the song request from Sub-Zero is, can I play the hymn Only Believe? I know the chorus, that's in my head. I can hear that, but there may be a verse, and I want to make sure that I don't leave anything out. So, number one, the musicians should have this hymnal in your repertoire because, believe it or not, there are chords hidden in these songs. It's not just the 3-part harmony, but there are chords in there also. Go to the index, look for Only Believe. Number 406. Not page 406, but number 406. This way you don't search for page numbers, you search for the number of the song. Only Believe. Yep, there is a opening hymn. Fear not, precious flock, from the cross to the throne. It is in D flat, 3/4 timing. D flat, 3/4 timing. Of course, people sing this song as a solo. So now you're going to watch me sight read Only Believe. Most people don't even sing the verse probably. Let's see what we got here. Fear not, precious flock. down like that. So now I gotta try and make sense of this. 3, 4, 3, 1, 2, 3, dum, bum, dum, ba, dum, bum, like F, okay, that's right. Two, three, bum, 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 bum. And then the chorus, only believe, all things are possible. Just only believe, only believe, only believe. That's right. All things are possible if you own, if you own. Things are possible. Only be. Okay, so you probably don't want to know the verse. Because nobody sings the verse. They only do the only believe. And even where I'm doing it, people have added words to it. So I will give you the version, which you will probably hear in the church, from only believe, in the key of D flat, using the church chords. Only believe, only believe. Walk up. Transition in there. Only believe. All right, I think that will get you through. It's follow the melody, which means it's going to go, because it stayed out of scale again. There's your scale. So a G is not normally in the scale, but the writer of the song put a G major in there, which means you now get to go into the key of C. Now you're coming back out. Now you can finish the chord. Now it goes back out again. I throw this chain. All things are possible. my cause. Believe. And you got that minor, that D minor, and resolve. And then believe. And this song is normally sung slowly. Again, following the melody at the top. Transition down to the D, E flat minor. I fill out a chord by adding additional notes at the bottom. The gospel change, diminish. Here it is. All right. Let's see. What was next? I think that was the last one. Only believe to. Yes. Unless I missed any requests, that was the last one. How long have I been here? Okay, look at the. Oh, 2 hours. Wow. This is a long stream, but that's okay. That's all right. I've had fun. Thank you. Hopefully, I've imparted the understanding that I instruct in. I hate to use the word teach because I've never been taught by a professional piano player. I am self-taught to the point where I can read the notes in a hymnal, which makes me let me turn this back correctly. I can read the notes in a hymnal because I was trained to play the flute and the French horn in high school back in New York City. So I can read notes, and then I interpret that when I go to the piano. An F in sheet music for an instrument is the same F on the keyboard. Of course, I played the French horn, which was an F sharp instrument, so it didn't sound the same, the F, but I knew that if it's F here, this is what it'll sound like on a natural keyboard. And I began to build on that by buying multiple chord books and looking at songs that were being chorded out that I learned from listening to figure out what is that chord I hear on the album. And what discouraged me was some of the chords I heard on the album. When I got the chord book, they broke down the song, they weren't the same chords in the books, and I couldn't understand that. I said, well, gee, this is the chord I hear in the album, but when I look at the book and go to that lyric word, that's not the chord in the album. That taught me that if I want to sound like the album, I've got to decipher every note that is being played, and the only way that I was able to self-teach myself was to learn how to play the scale of the key the song is in, and whatever notes I don't hear, don't play. And I think that's what I've been able to hopefully I was able to demonstrate that. Play the notes you hear when you're learning a song, and don't play the notes you don't hear. You hear, and again, because today's music is they cluster chords like this, it's hard to omit songs or chords when they play so many chords together. That's where Chordiac comes in, where if this is what I'm hearing, then that's what I'll give you, versus trying to say, well, I think I hear the low note here and the higher note here, and maybe they're doing this when that note is there also. So when I get to really tear apart a song, that's when I can actually understand placement of chords in a particular song. So let me thank those of you who were here: Vanessa, Gladys, Wiz M1, Nathan Nelson, uh, my I'm going to say my Japanese or Chinese friend. I'm sorry I can't pronounce your name. Sub Zero, Siobhan Reynolds, Danny, Louis, excuse me, Demo. Who else came in? Click away. Let's see. Yes, and I got everybody, I believe. So thank you all for spending some time with me. Please share these videos. I got to see what copyright notifications I'm going to get from them maybe hearing some of the songs I was playing. Uh, oh, the wife and kids? No, I'm 66 years old. The wife knows to leave me alone, and the kids are grown and on their own. I am retired. I don't have any ties to anything. I'm a retired church musician. I'm retired from working. I am free as they come. I can stay up to 3 a.m. if nobody will say a word to me. Why? Because I've earned the right. Worked 48 consecutive years from the age of 17 for the IBM Corporation when I was 17 years old. They hired me and I became one of their most decorated musicians as a young man, and then worked 48 consecutive years. So I've earned the right to stay up and still do all this music. That's one of the things that I appreciate. That not only have I not lost the ability to be a worker, that music did not suffer from it. If anything, I often say I was 10 years too late learning so much music because I also had to work a full-time job, play for a church, and take care of a family. So is it possible? Yes. Does it wear out on you? Yes, it does. And I am going through the effects of that now. I may one day share that as I see that new journey that I'm on as an elderly person. But no, I haven't posted any of my videos. I still shoot baskets from my outside not parking lot, but my driveway. I can still shoot 20 footers all net, 4 or 5 in a row. I have a video doing that. I have a bicycle that I still ride. I'm going to work on getting more of that riding into next year for exercise reasons. And I come down here and I pedal just to keep the heart rate up. There's a lot of things that go on in life. And the one thing that I do appreciate, and I thank God for this, that I have not forgotten what I want to remember. I can still remember the first notes that I learned as a youngster. And I will show you what my oldest brother taught me to play. Show me how to play the piano. This is what he showed me. That is what my oldest brother showed me at 8 years old when I wanted to learn how to play. He was playing chords. That's what he showed me. And I still remember how to do that. So, yeah, I promised that if anyone were to request, oh, sorry, I'm getting a phone call. Let the person know that I'm on the phone. They always wait till I'm on the phone to contact me. Where is it? Sorry about that. Real quick. On live stream. Here they go calling back again. Okay. So they know now. But yes, that was my first introduction into music, and I so bad wanted to be able to play every chord from every song I heard. Watching Saturday morning cartoons, I used to love to see the Roadrunner. And I wanted to be able to play that song so bad. That's what I wanted to be able to play so bad because I loved hearing that when that would come on. No, I don't now. I mean, I don't mess with it now, but that's the first time I actually attempted it as I got older. Do you know I Praise Your Name by Myron Williams? Oh, you're late coming in. I went over that. That was one of the viewer requests I went over. So you're gonna have to watch it over again. I went over the entire song. I covered the songs that you have requested. I don't want to use your name, so no one knew who you were. So, but now they do that you talked about it. But yes, I did cover that song already. And I'm going to say goodbye. I got a phone call to see who's looking for me at Eastern Time, USA 10:16 p.m. But I thank you all for coming in. Quinette, Burnett, thank you for coming in. Sorry, I don't post when I'm going to go live because as you said, as I said, I can do any, I can cover, I can do this anytime I have the feel to, and I've been doing so many other videos, which I call the easy ones, the songs I know. I put those videos out quick. When it comes to the ones I have to take time to learn, I want to be able to show the process of either I've played it in the past and haven't played it again, like some of them that I covered, or it's a new song and this is what I'm hearing. Especially that what was that one that was wild? What was the wild song? I think it was that. Yeah, the Myron Williams song I think was the wild one. A lot of chords in that one. Yeah, that was the wild song. A lot of chords. So I did cover it. Covered as many of the chords I could in the key of F. That much I do remember. And it's jumpy. It's active. But I covered the chords to help in um, deciphering it. Thank you all. Really do appreciate this. I may try to find a an hour during the weekend where I will do that. Most times she's asking me why you stay in the basement so much. I said because this is where my keyboard and my computer is. I said, you want me to move it upstairs so I can be closer to you? She said, no, leave all that stuff down there. So I'm good. I am good. But thank you all for spending some time with me. And of course, if you have requests, as I say, I don't charge to do viewer requests because I don't really delve 100% into it, but I will give you a breakdown of the intro, what the verse is doing, some of the music, the instrumentation, if it's a basic song, and you will get a lot more. Here's where I go a little bit on my rant, a lot more than what other musicians would, because I can remember being a youngster in the church and other talented and skilled musicians refused to show me when I would ask what they were doing. That is why I do what I'm doing right now, because I haven't forgotten that feeling of an older or senior musician. Either he would stop playing or turn so I could not see the chords he was playing. And as a youngster in my teens, I promised myself if I ever got skilled enough to play, I will never hide my chords from anyone who asks. So I'm sticking true to my request. I don't know if you see in the background there, that's a picture I took when I was 20 years old. That reminds me of who I am, where I came from. Let me just go get it. This is over 25 years old. That is a young Sam Talbert. All right, go ahead, turn that around. Now I was not on this. I was not on the magazine. This is not a magazine. This is a picture that was superimposed with a template that I picked out when I paid $20 to have a picture taken. And if you see my hands, they are in the shape of if I'm playing. When I saw the template, New Artist of the Year, I had thought for sure at some time in my future, I will evolve to the point where I would be a composer, songwriter of gospel songs. Now, at least I got to the point where I'm a composer and a songwriter of gospel songs. I'm just not known. But I'm slowly working on that as I have put out three of the products or productions of three of the 30 songs I've written already. And with if they, as my mother used to say, if the Lord says the same and gives me grace, I will get at least 10 of them out there, the 10 best ones out of them. Some were written for male choir, children's choir, adult choirs, teenage choirs, seasonal music for Easter, Palm Sunday, um written for theme music for organizations. Again, I try to write as the opportunity presented itself. So you got kind of my history there and my 1,000 plus 1,100 plus videos to look at. If I don't say goodbye, I won't say goodbye. Thank you again for stopping in. And if you get notified when I'm here, I'll try to be a little bit earlier. I don't never know the schedule of other people, but I said at least you can go back and review the video. Thanks for coming. Sam Tolbert, Sound of Joy Music Services. Be blessed.